Word Spoken podcast.
As a kid, whenever I got angry, my father, he always taught me to take a deep breath and count backwards from 10, 9. So maybe it's no surprise that nowadays I always seem to be one step behind, like I 8, 7. If it really is on earth as it is in heaven, I wonder if the heavens spin anti-clockwise around hell, like 6. Shit. How do I turn this wine back into water? How do I breathe your laughter and make smiles from your footsteps? Have you ever seen a rose bleed to death with its own thorns? How do I reconnect to this third dimension when it's made of broken liquids? How do I make arms long enough to hug all 4 corners of my commitments when I can't even commit to your memory? Because, when it comes to the anniversary of your death, I don't really like to talk about it much, let alone write a poem every single year. But it would appear that this time around, April 10th, it falls on Easter Good Friday, so I figured what better time to resurrect you? I'll have to admit there have been times in the past where I've actually forgotten the date, which really makes it sound quite rotten. But considering the state that I was in when they first told me that you passed away, it was mid-morning on a Sunday, and there were just so many people packed into this tiny 4-bedroom house that by the time that I had sifted through all of the crying and confusion and lifted masks off the ones that were lying and using this news to feign our affection for us, I didn't know whether it had been 12 hours or 11, but it really took that 1 second for everything to actually sink in. And now I make a goldfish of your memory. And I cherish the 5 seconds where for a moment I forget that you're dead and I think that you're alive and sitting next to me, and I feel like you can see me, but I'm still scared to speak to him. So easily my voice is lost between his frequencies. I'm rarely the person to ask for other people's opinions, for fear of replacing mine with theirs, for fear of having their stares pour into me and my independence forced out of me as if it were water in glass jars being held under open taps. It feels like I'm wrapped in this backward tide. Have you ever known the tide to take its instructions from the sun? And have you ever sung in your neighbor's tongue and felt their sound waves on your fingertips, felt their pain in your wrists? See, these wrists are so limp that I don't make it all the way through your Instagram stories sometimes. These arms, they barely make it halfway out of the duvet at times. And I feel like my mind rests on these cotton sheets made of metal, and I'm continuously falling. And falling into you feels like leaning on marshmallow walls that know nothing of funny bones, which is really quite frustrating because I'm literally the funniest person that I know. On my good days, I feel like I can exist on 2 planes. I am both Morpheus and Agent Smith. I am that blue pill that you read about. On my good days, my thoughts are very tactical. There's this magical geometry in the way my brain lays it out and maps it all into this picture-perfect kind of beautiful. And a picture can tell 1,000 words. And some of those words, they kind of shape my bad days. And on my bad days, my thoughts are quite theatrical. A heavy pain gets buried deep inside my clavicle, making hunchbacks of this dame, so it's easier to shield my shame and hug my ugly a little bit tighter. On my bad days, I feel empty, and in 2020, these bad days, they come so often that I don't even have them anymore. I just have good days and normal ones, and on my normal ones, I tend to question everything that's good. For example, my ex. He used to give me butterflies every time he sang me our song, but I couldn't help but question, these butterflies were never yours. Where did you ever steal them from? These bad days, they come so often that I don't even have them anymore. I just have good days and normal ones, and on my normal ones, I tend to question everything that's good. Especially happiness. They say happiness is a choice, but if happiness is a choice, then when did I choose to be sad? If happiness is a choice, then when did mine become a lost voice on a ballot that I did not vote for? Or programmed into a device that I do not have the remote for? If the happiness in a user can be created or configured, then Then when did depression become my default setting?